Hello, I'm back again. Happy to be with you. This is an interesting and different class. One I think you will enjoy from a historical perspective. Our title today, class number 51 in our series, Vote because our ancestors are watching. In 2026, the midterm general election will be held on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2026. Voters from across the country will head to the polls. Some will feel safe. However, others have fears and concerns that we will address. We will address today. I heard you. Who are these concerned citizens? Come close. Poll workers who work various hours, including evenings. Gender non-conforming voters of both sexes. Straight males might not be fearful because of their gender. There may be disparity or differences between black and white men because of the recent changes in the Voting Rights Act. White men might feel confident with a sense of social and political empowerment, whereas African American or black men, brown men, may feel there is a return to the Jim Crow attitudes, meaning attempts at voting will cause safety risks. But how is that possible? This is 2026. In addition, under the changed laws, citizens have to prove they are or have been discriminated against, which is very difficult to prove in some situations. Families, children, and all people of color could possibly be at risk. A cautionary tale. These factors could be an added burden for citizens who are already socially, politically, and newly marginalized, yet again in 2026. Newly marginalized again. During the Jim Crow era, the threat was imposed by police officers, public and government officials, and poll workers, especially in southern states. These factors created safety risks enforced by many U.S. citizens who were elected or election workers. This is history. The U.S. Supreme Court. There's more at risk than a stroke of a pen or signature imposed by justices. Citizens' lives can literally be put at risk. This can include the return of harassment, lynchings, and killing innocent citizens in election-related violence or in their communities. The use of violence and threats and verbal intimidation in the past has served the purpose to discourage brown and black and now Latino citizens or non-citizens who aren't white from exercising their constitutional rights to vote in these United States. The last of the Jim Crow laws were generally overturned in 1965 by the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Formal and informal racial segregation policies were present in other areas of the United States as well, even as several states outside the South had banned discrimination in public accommodations and voting. Not surprisingly, these states, like the Jim Crow era, still remain. The purpose remains to advance their own political goals, to retain power at the state and federal levels, still exist. The distinct act of dangerous behavior towards citizens. During a recent election workers were intimidated at work and in their homes. They were accused of miscounting votes while working. Derogatory information was published online against them. People called their home phones constantly and threatened to harm them. 2. Citizens' property was destroyed or defaced in business, worship houses, and private property. These unlawful acts were meant to intimidate poll workers and workers to make them feel unsafe while counting ballots. For many citizens, families, and voters in 2026, the threat of being jailed and placed in ICE facilities similar to historic concentration camps, even if they haven't broken any laws, which include children and parents. Anticipating violence, verbal intimidation creates added stress for marginalized groups of citizens. All Americans have concerns and are aware of the people who are, again, suddenly at risk in the current political environment, political climate. Voter safety precautions. Replace fear and be intentional as you develop your business, family, or personal safety plan. Do this whether you are feeling anxious or fearful. Get it done. Vote. Consider, what is the best time of day for you to vote? Consider not bringing your children to vote. You or your spouse or neighbor might alternate taking turns for one another. Exercise caution interacting with people you don't know or feel uncomfortable with at polling places or while standing in line. Some conversations don't need to be entertained in earshot of others. Some need to be ignored. Take your phones or devices with you to call for assistance and have important contact information and numbers with you as you might need them to ask questions or call for help, 911. Know your legal rights and your status. Have correct voting identification and your paperwork with you in place. The correct Address using polling place locator by state. That's how you get your correct address. You can do it by polling place locator by state. And you can call your state election office in your vicinity, in your city, in your county. If you feel threatened by people carrying guns, or if you are being intimidated by anyone while you are exercising your legal right to vote, do not allow the intimidation tactics to continue. Call for help or assistance immediately. Exercise early or mail-in voting if you are able to do so in your community. If you're overseas, definitely get your paperwork mailed, your voting paperwork mailed early if you're in the military or out of the country. Summary. I ask you honestly, has it come to this yet again? I think some of us saw it coming, but may have been in denial or simply waiting to see which or if another shoe might drop. Personally, I plan to vote early and in good trouble. I'm going to get in good trouble because I'm a vote. If that's what it means. My God is sitting high and looking low. You know, Mother's Day reminded me of my grandmother's wisdom. I refuse to embarrass my family and ancestors by shirking back and being timid. They weren't, and they taught me to take a stand for that which is right and moral, and to speak truth to fear and power. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Make a decision to vote. Get in good trouble. You can email me at preparebeforeithappens@outlook.com for anything you need. Consultation. Anything. By phone, Zoom, whatever you need. I thank you for coming on this week. I will be here with you next week. Thank you for your emails letting me know what your concerns are, and I will try to address them each week and answer any questions you have.